Hi, my name is Zubin, and I'm responding to that post by Lisa Leong on LinkedIn about reframing imposter syndrome. This is something I believe very strongly about because I've had three very different careers. I was a corporate lawyer for 12 years. I was then an MBA in sort of commercial roles for a while. And then I taught myself to code, and today I'm a software engineer at Google. And I taught myself to code at 37, which is not the youngest exactly. And every step along the way, in every profession, no matter where I was, not only did I feel imposter syndrome, the people around me who were candid enough would admit that they felt it, no matter what level they were at. Um, and that entire process of learning, 18 plus years of witnessing it, um, crystallized for me in one moment when I watched the Carol Dweck TED talk about mindset and about the difference between a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. And the reason it all came together for me was when I realized that if everyone feels that they're not good enough, and then they couple that sensation or that belief, that limiting belief, with an empowering belief that they absolutely can get good enough, that they can improve, which is the essence of what a growth mindset is to know that you're not fixed in your ability, you can improve, persistence will make you better, will reap rewards. When I couple that imposter syndrome sensation with the realization that the growth mindset is a very real thing, everything started to change in my life. Now that happened around the time I was wondering, do I really have it in me to learn to code? Because I'd founded a startup. It wasn't doing very well. It was starting to fail quite dramatically, actually, in my own head at least. And I had the choice: do I learn to code to continue to try and keep it alive, or do I just quit? And I chose to try and teach myself to code so that I could continue with my startup quest. Eventually, ended up in Google, but that's a different story because it was considered, or a lot of people thought I was crazy to even try to teach myself to code after a 14-year career in law and other things, and without actually having a formal degree and things like that. And all of this is only possible because I reframed imposter syndrome. I now do a bit of coaching for people once in a while when I have the time, and I find that almost everybody, universally, whether they're in big companies like Google or not, it doesn't matter. People feel imposter syndrome. There's no shortage of material out there about imposter syndrome, and realizing that it's normal, it's natural, is unfortunately about 30% of the battle. The next step that I found really helped, which is a personal philosophy, is that we've got to stop assuming that when we compare our internal self, our internal state, our perceptions of our internal self with what we perceive about the external state of other people, that dissonance is what makes us feel like imposters, because we compare how we feel on the inside to how people appear on the outside, and that's a huge mistake. We have no idea what they're feeling on the inside, and we shouldn't really care, because ultimately, if we're not feeling good on the inside, we need to believe that we can do something to improve it, and that's critical. That's the very heart of the growth mindset. And so I think reframing it, especially in the context of the pandemic, in the context of a rapidly digitizing world where automation is something that everyone is worried about, that their jobs will be automated out of existence. I'm on the fence about how pervasive that will be, but there's no doubt that it is a reality for many people. And if nothing else, jobs will need to transform, or skills will need to be updated to address that reality. And so I truly, 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 truly believe, I think you can tell by the way I'm speaking about it, that the imposter syndrome is prevalent. I actually compare it to your shadow. You cannot run away from it, but instead you learn to deal with it and perhaps even ignore it altogether and not take it seriously at all, as long as you change your mindset about what's possible for you if you put your mind to it and you're prepared to upskill. So the best antidote to the imposter syndrome is the acknowledgement that you can get better tomorrow, and that how you are today is not an indicator of what's possible for you tomorrow. And as long as you don't stop trying to get better, you will get to a state where you realize and you have the confidence in yourself that not feeling like you're good enough is just a feeling. It's a thought. It's not a reality. And you can absolutely learn whatever you need to be good enough. And when you're good enough for the job and you're really very comfortable in the job, then it's probably time for you to try growing again by moving to the next job, which is going to be a stretch job. And that's going to make you feel like a bit of an imposter all over again. So it's a wonderful cycle if you're willing to embrace it and lean into it. I really hope that's of value to you guys, whatever you're doing with the show. Good luck. Cheers.